Question: do you want to be able to pronounce Japanese words? Well, first thing that you need to know are the Japanese vowels. And here they are. By the end of today's lesson, you'll be able to say this and much more in Japanese.
Straight to the point.
Japanese.
Alright everyone, welcome to Sasato Hondai ni Hairei! Straight to the point Japanese. I'm your host for the day, Jay, and today we're going to be talking about Japanese pronunciation again. This is the second video in our Japanese pronunciation series, and today we're specifically going to be going over the vowels. So, let's look at today's objectives. 本日の狙いを見ていきましょう. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to pronounce the Japanese vowels. Not only will you be able to pronounce the Japanese vowels, but you'll be learning a lot of other additional important stuff as well. Stay tuned. 絶対忘れるなよ. Don't forget. Before watching this video, remember to pause often to write notes and important information. Also, listen and watch the same time. それでは今日のレッスンに入っていきましょう. First thing that we need to talk about are the 5 vowels that are in Japanese, and a quick tip to help make your study of Japanese a little simpler. Okay, there are 5 vowels in Japanese. We are showing you the vowels in Romaji, Hiragana, and the International Phonetic Alphabet, also known as IPA. Let's go ahead and talk about how to say these sounds. So the first one is A. Here it is in Romaji, in Hiragana, and in the IPA again. And this is just like the A sound that you find in the word father. The next vowel is I, and this is like the E sound which you hear in the word chi. You know, I don't take martial arts or anything, but I figure this is American English now. Next we have and this is kind of like the oo sound which you hear in the word new, but it's a little bit different in not only length, but look at my lips as well. So when I say the Japanese sound my lips don't protrude as much as they do when I say this English word, and they don't make the O shape as much as they do when I say this English word here. So new. Next we have at, like you hear in the word men, at. And finally we have o, which you kind of hear in the word open. Now, Japanese vowels are pretty regular. Compared to other languages, the way you pronounce these vowels doesn't change very much. There is a little bit of irregularity, but it's not as bad as, say, English. And to prove this point, I have some examples. We have the letter A in English, which in this first word is pronounced a, dad. In the second word, it's a, father. In the third word, it's about. And in the last word, it's combined with the letter E and makes an sound. That's 4 different pronunciations for one letter. Let's check out these Japanese words which have the a sound in it and watch how it never changes. Yama, banana, aka, asa. Pretty cool, right? So now I'm going to tell you about some things that's going to save you and your Japanese teachers from a lot of confusion. I know that people with English as their native language, they have the tendency to want to refer to Japanese sounds using the letters of the English alphabet. But I strongly want to get you guys to refer to Japanese sounds using the Japanese pronunciation instead of the English alphabet names to try to keep things as simple as possible. So for example, if you hear E, you need to know that it's this Japanese sound and not the English alphabet letter E, like right here. Now likewise, the English alphabet letter I in Japanese, that's actually two different sounds. That's A and E put together. I. So as soon as possible, start referring to Japanese sounds with Japanese, not the English alphabet names. Alright, let's go ahead and look at some words that are composed of just vowels. Now, I'm going to add the pitch accents right now. This basically is just the parts of the word which you need to stress. Let's go ahead and say these together. Number 1, aoi. Number 2, ie. Number 3, ue. And number 4, ai. Alright, so in this next part, we're going to talk about vowel length, the types of long vowels, and how vowel length can change the meaning of a word. So, what is vowel length? Basically, it's just the amount of time that it takes to say a vowel. Except for a, all the other vowels get lengthened very often. There's atarashi, and that has a long E at the end. The next example is shu. Then we have keitai. And the last one is kyo. The romaji that's used to write these words varies. Sometimes a long U sound is written with two U's put together, or you can write it with a line above it. Either way, these are the same. Now, many people want to say that the E and the E here, when put together, just make a long E sound. If you want to say it that way, that's absolutely fine. You can say keitai. However, a lot of people want to say that this sounds more like an E and an E put together, so it'd be more like keitai. Either way, you'll be understood. Now, let's talk about the long O sound. The long O sound has three ways of being written in Romaji. There is the O and U style. Now, this comes from the fact that whenever you have a hiragana U after an O, it makes the O long. So you wouldn't pronounce this as O-U, but O. And that's how I usually write it. You can also put a line above an O as well to make that the long O sound. And some people like to write two O's put together. And you'll notice that when you are studying from a textbook, that each textbook writes Romaji its own way. They're all great. Find the one that works best for you. Now, some words that have two of the same vowel put together have a different meaning than words with just one vowel. In other words, the time you take to pronounce a vowel matters in Japanese. Let's check out this word. This is shu, and then below it we have shu. The top one means master or lord, and the one beneath it means weak. So like that, just by making the vowel a little bit longer, you can change the meaning of words. With that said, let's look at the pitch accent for these words as well. We have shu and shu. Okay, well, that pretty much does it for today's lesson. 今日のレッスンを終わりにしたいと思います。Thank you guys so much for watching. 今日の勉強にも付き合ってくれてありがとうございます。I bet you now can begin to hear and say the Japanese vowels. And if this helped you out, please help us out by clicking that subscribe and like button. もしこの動画が参考になったら高評価のボタン、そしてチャンネル登録をよろしくお願いします。We hope to see you in our next lesson. それでは、バイバイ。